right. Hello, everyone. It's Brenda Miller. I'm Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every week on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. I am actually not live again. I am struggling with some computer issues, and I hope to have them resolved sometime soon, but this is actually working for me right now anyway, because at 3 o'clock I have another meeting. So this is pre-recorded. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them in at the bottom and I will get back to you on that. So anyway, today we are here to talk about template number 20 in the annual catalog on page 22. And there are only 22 templates, so we only have two more to go. And I was excited to be able to use this template because it is very, very simple, but you can also spice it up quite a bit. So let's go ahead and check out how we can do that. I'm going to flip over here. Let's see if this works. There we go. All right, so we have template number 20. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to just walk you through how I ended up making the different cards that I made. So first off, I started with the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper. And let me show you that. That's in the mini catalog. And it is on page 37. And you can see it has all these gorgeous designs, right? It really doesn't get any better than that. Some of these are just absolutely stunning. I know I've used them before in my lives, but so easy to work with when you're making just a few of the cards. There are 48 sheets, but there are only 4 of each sheet and they're 6 by 6. So for me, I have a harder time using them in classes, but I love to play with them. So that's why I decided to go with Splendid Autumn. Plus, I'm trying to keep this seasonal. So here we go. So I grabbed some paper and I took a look at it and decided that I wanted to create a card that looked like this. Now, look how beautiful this designer series paper is, right? What a great little image. It's 6 by 6, and I had to decide how I wanted to cut it down, which is, of course, painful anyway, because who wants to cut up your beautiful designer series paper? But I went ahead and did that. And then I realized that we needed this little tab here. So it's a regular standard card front, and this piece is 4 by 4.5. And then this little strip here, you know what? I didn't measure it. It is, let me just go over here. You can see how I do this, about 2.5 inches by 1/2 of it, actually 3/4 of an inch wide. I do remember that. And I said, "Oh, looks pretty, but I don't want to mar this with any sentiment. I couldn't figure out what would I possibly cover, and I don't have any sentiments that are vertical right now. We sometimes have them, and they're usually a little bit bigger, and I just could not figure out how to spice it up a little bit. Of course, I could have put a sentiment here, and I'd be covering up the reflection and the water, and it just was too much for me. So I said, okay, we'll show this card, but that's not the card we're going to make. So I moved on, and I decided to pull out another piece of designer series paper. So I pulled out another piece of designer series paper. I had to go grab that. And you can see that it had some white space. And that's what I was looking for, because I wanted to be able to stamp a sentiment right on the paper so that I didn't have to take away from anything else. This was just, even though I love it, love it, love it, it just wasn't conducive to what I was looking for. So anyway, so I pulled out this piece of paper, and instead of cutting it the long way, I said, all right, I'm going to change things around a little bit, and I'm going to make it horizontal, because look at all these great pumpkins. Now, I could have just done it this way, but I also wanted to show the versatility of using a template a little bit differently. So I went ahead and I actually cut it already, and I cut it to 5 by 3 3/4 so that I would have that border. Now I could have made it asymmetrical in terms of the amount of space, but I like symmetry. That's just me. So yeah, I'm stretching this template quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this onto my card. And there we go. So we've got the pumpkins going on. So it's not just fall with the trees, but we've got a pumpkin patch here. So just a different look. And then I took a piece of, let's see, I just have to pull it out. Boy, when I record, it's just, I can stop and start, but I'm sorry about that. So let's pause for a second. Okay, so I pulled out some Mossy Meadow cardstock, and I used the Nested Essentials dies, which are my go-to, and especially if I need something like this to go in the corner. And yes, it's a little bit shorter than this, but again, I'm on horizontal. If I made this bigger, it would take, it would reach into the pumpkin patch, and I didn't want to do that again. So here we go. I'm going to just adhere this down up here. And then I can stamp my sentiment right there. So I pulled out my Wonderful Thoughts stamp set, and I just love the thinking of you that's in there. And I'm just going to stamp it right up here, right in that white space. So there we go. And when I'm looking for that triangle, in terms of, how you always want to have a visual triangle, I'm going with that. I'm picking up the Mossy Meadows. So 1, 2, and then 3, or 1, 2, and then 3. So it just gives it a little bit better balance by putting it there. And again, normally I would put it down here, but I didn't want to cover anything up. You know me. Okay, so that's how that went. Now for the ribbon, that's a whole different story. So what I did was I took our Black and Berry Vanilla. Oh my gosh. Which was right here a minute ago, and not. Hang on 1 second. Get that. All right, so here's our Black and Berry Vanilla ribbon, which is always so pretty. And I know I'm going to tie a knot, so I like to cut about 4 inches when I'm going to do that. And because the Very Vanilla, that would go just fine here, but I wanted to go ahead and color it. And so I pulled out my Cajun Craze Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to actually use the dark, not that there's that much of a color differential, but there is. And I'm going to color my ribbon. So I believe you can do this with our regular markers, but I like to use our Stampin' Blends because it is alcohol based, so it's not going to run. You would see that it does go through, okay? And that'll even happen on paper sometimes, but it definitely goes through on the ribbon. But I'm just coloring it, and the vanilla magically turns Cajun Craze and matches the card perfectly. So gotta love that. So, and you can see that it's dry right away. It's not getting on my fingers or anything. And so I'm just going to tie that into a knot. And let's see, I don't want it too tight. I probably have a little bit extra here, but let's go ahead and put it down with a glue dot. I'm using the glue dots that I have from my paper pumpkin kits, and I don't think I'm ever going to run out of glue dots because I get so many in my paper pumpkin kits, and they just last a very long time. So anyway, you see how that's done. And I'm just going to put that down, and now I've got a beautiful card. I'm just going to cut off, just trim my bow just the littlest bit. And there we go. So you can see just how easy it is to make a card using this template. There are 2 different versions of, pretty much a similar card, depending upon your focal point and your what you're using for the kind of designer series paper and what you can cover and not cover. So anyway, those are those 2 cards. And I just wanted to share with you, I also wanted to make a Halloween card. So I came up with this one. How simple is this? So this is actually going along with the original template. So it's vertical. I cut this 4 by 4.5. is what this piece is. Let me write that in because I want you to know that. Okay. And then instead of this little piece, which was 3/4 of an inch by 2.5, instead I used one of the sticker sheets that, well, when you get the either the designer series paper for the Halloween memories, or if you buy the Halloween memories kit, but that's the scrapbooking kit, it comes with this sticker sheet, which is fabulous, and you can pick out different ones. Originally was going to use this one because it's also a little vertical, it's flagged at the end. It says candy, candy, candy. And but then I said, oh no, wait, I like this one. It's bigger and it's all about Halloween. So you could, of course, put another message if you wanted to, but the fun stripes in the background make it a super fun Halloween card. So that's one. And then this was even more of a stretch, but this is one of the cards that I had as part of my Ultimate Christmas Card class, which sold out. So what sold out is the kits that everybody made, to each of 10 different Christmas card designs. This was one of the cards that they got to make 2 of, and it uses the Snowy Wonder, but I just kind of stretched out more like my first card, vertically, stretched it out, and then I turned the little flag on its side, and I had a little bit of what color is that? Pool Party underneath to pop it up a little bit. But you can see it's essentially the same kind of design, but stepped up a bit. So if you would like the video and the tutorial for this card, I'd be happy to send it to you. I just want to ask that you email me and I can reply with the video link and the tutorial. I'd be happy to share it. I put a lot of work into that class and I want to share it as widely as possible. So you may see some more of the cards on my blog. I encourage you to head over to look at that. But I think that's all I've got for you today. Sorry about the starts and stops, but we got it done. And I hope you'll give it a try with template number 20. And I hope you'll be back for my 100th quick class is going to be next week. So I'm very excited about that. That's a milestone for me, 100 quick class videos. And they can all be found on my YouTube channel and sporadically throughout my Stampin' with Brenda Facebook page. So all of the videos are there. And of course, in the description of all the videos are the supplies needed and the measurements for the card that I feature in that video. So I hope that you will take a look at that, and I hope you'll follow me. And I think that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.